Hey everyone, I am Gary of the Elysiums. Welcome to the video that was promised at the end of my Deftones ranking video. We're now going to be ranking the studio discography of Bakersfield, California's own Korn. Now before we get in this video, I know some of you haven't subscribed yet. Hit that subscribe button, like this video, help support my channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. We have 14 studio albums to rank here from the band Korn. Korn's debuted in 1994, basically helping to create a new subgenre of metal called nu metal. Nu metal is kind of a mixture of, some hip-hop influences, here and there rap vocals, down-tuned guitars, a lot of times 7-string guitars, especially with Korn, and they're kind of omitting the guitar solo for the most part. But we're going to get right into it with number 14. And it's going to be Korn III, Remember Who You Are. This is one Korn album that I really don't go back to at all. I rarely pull this one out. I couldn't remember the last time I actually listened to it. It's just not that exciting to me. It was produced by Russ Robinson, who also produced the first album along with Life is Peachy. Oiled Out was the single that was released to help sell this album. It's an okay song. It doesn't really, I don't know, it's Korn trying to go back to their roots, but they really didn't hit it. They didn't get it. Especially without Head, the guitarist Head. Fear is a Place to Live on here. Lead the Parade. Even the ending song, Holding All These Lies, it just never really caught on for me. All right, comment number 13. This one is basically the Untitled album. We don't call it Korn because we call it debut Korn. This is basically just an Untitled album, like I said. Weird cover art. A different sound for Korn now. They're definitely doing a little more experimentation. Bitch We Got a Problem was actually the song that was released to help sell this album, the single ahead of this album. But again, I do listen to this more than Korn III because I feel like it's one of those albums that I don't mind here and there, and it'll eventually catch on. And oh, I really like that album. I don't hate it, but I do listen to this a lot more than Korn III, believe it or not. All right, coming number 12, the Paradigm Shift. At this time, Head is back in the band. So we have Monkey and Head back on guitars. It is heavy. It has that signature Korn sound. But I feel like they tried a little too hard to get that old sound back, and they kind of missed the mark. Love and Meth was the single released from this. Spike in My Veins. So obviously, as you can see there, a lot of this was lyrics pertaining to the drug addiction that Head had previously been in before he decided to, get clean and give his life to God, along with Jonathan Davis's own struggles with drugs himself, which has been an issue. Well, I shouldn't say an issue, but more of a subject throughout his albums and the career. And just a weird cover art. Like, that's just not a good cover. I don't even know what's going on there. And, they obviously had to know when Head is back in the band and they're about to release their newest studio album with Head back, that it was going to sell no matter what. You just think they would do a better cover art, man. I mean, I know the music is what counts, but maybe freshen this up a little bit. Let's get this get the sales up. All right, coming in at number 11. So when Korn announced they were doing this album with Skrillex, who is like an EDM, electronic dance music DJ, and just, I was like, what? Why are they doing that? We had Jonathan Davis doing that J Devil thing with the EDM a little bit. But this actually works, believe it or not. The Path of Totality. When I first heard this, and I was like, huh, I actually like it. I think it's pretty good. It's obviously different because we have, these featured artists, which are, EDM artists. I don't know. Besides Skrillex, I don't know. Noisia, Excision, Downlink, 12th Planet, Feed Me. I have no clue. But there are, this is cool. This is like really catchy music. This is cool to throw on. And, it gets you a little pumped up. It's not really as dark as their other albums. The lyrics aren't as dark as that. But reading some of the titles of the songs, you would think they were, like Kill Mercy Within, Chaos Lives in Everything, Narcissistic Cannibal was actually the single from this album, Illuminati, Burn the Obedient, Bleeding Out. But yeah, this is a little more of an upbeat album, in my opinion, compared to other Korn stuff. All right, coming in at number 10. This is Korn's latest album, Requiem. I know they are apparently in the studio, or they may have recorded their newest album. This is a different sounding Korn. It's a little more mature. Jonathan Davis is, his lyrics are a little darker. It's more of a goth sound to it. The 9 tracks is kind of just perfect because some Korn albums just go on too long. The ending song in here, Worse Is On Its Way, is absolutely awesome. Just a great song. Hopeless and Beaten, such a great song. Disconnect, Lost in the Grandeur, Let the Dark Do the Rest. A really strong album from Korn. Again, like I always say with these bands, it's cool to hear a band that's been around so long release a really good album this deep into their career. We're over 30 years in the Korn's career, and if this is their last album or their latest album, it's it's saying something, which is really cool. Their 14th album is awesome. All right, now where we at? We're at number 9. Coming at number 9, take a look in the mirror. When this came out, critics did not like it. Turned a lot of people off, but I like it. I think it's good. Some of the singles off here, like Right Now, Break Some Off, Did My Time, awesome song. I love Did My Time. Play Me, featuring Nas. I love that song. Awesome. Y'all Want a Single? Great song. And I know it sounds cheesy, whatever, but I like it. I like it a lot. So this kind of reminds me, when this kind of came out, Y'all Want a Single, and they were doing that kind of goth gangster thing a little bit, even though Jonathan Davis always wore the Adidas tracksuits and stuff. But this always reminds me of that gothic gangster little short era we had in the early 2000s there, especially with Marilyn Manson was doing the same thing a little bit on his album, The Golden Age of Grotesque. But again, the only thing that holds this back for me is the 13 tracks. Some of them go a little too long. There's a couple songs are fillers to me in between. Like, you're kind of like, you throw it on with Right Now and it breaks them off, and then Counting on Me. And then Here It Comes Again, Deep Inside. It's like, okay. Did My Time, get you pumped back up. Everything I've Known is okay. Play Me with Nas is awesome. I love that song. And then we have Alive, Let's Do This Now, I'm Done. Maybe cut 1 or 2 of them songs out. Y'all Want a Single, and then When Will This End is obviously the closer on this album. All right, coming in at number 8. This is going to be controversial. I know it. This is an album that for the past 23 years, I cannot fully love this album. There's some great tracks on there. A lot of times I zone out. I feel like there's a lot of filler on this album, in my opinion. This is all my opinion. Jonathan Davis says this is the greatest album they made. It cost something like millions of dollars, over $3 million something to make. It was like one of the most expensive albums ever made at the time. But for me, I don't know what it is. I just cannot fully love it. It's Untouchables. I don't know. I just never, like I said, I still listen to it. I still try, and it's not like, I don't hate it, but it's like, there's better albums to me. I don't understand how Jonathan Davis can call this the best record they've ever done. I mean, I'm sure, he obviously had a great time recording it and great memories behind it, but for me, it's just, I don't know. It's okay. Here to Stay is a great song, though. Hollow Life's great. Thoughtless, love Thoughtless. Alone I Break, awesome. I mean, there were the singles released from this. I'm Hiding, nah. No One's There, which closes, it's cool. But overall, just not a, I don't know. It's not a bad album. It's just not amazing like everyone else brags about us and says how great it is. I don't know. Leave in the comments. I know it. You're going to beat me up for that one, but whatever. That's how I feel. Probably beat me up for this one, too, at number 7. See You on the Other Side. I like this album a lot. When this came out, you know, Korn had been back. It's, you know, it's the first studio album in 2 years, but back then, I don't know what it is. It kind of seems like 2 years was a long time between albums because there were so many bands coming out, and nowadays, you know, with all this digital music and everything's underground and no more MTV, I just think like it's normal for not to hear from a band in like 2 or 3 years. But in between, they released their greatest hits album, and this was their follow-up studio album. Loved it. Twisted Transistor, great single off of this. Politics, I love. Hypocrites, Souvenir, Love Song is awesome. Open Up. Get It, Coming Undone, my favorite track off of this. Tearjerker, what ends it. Awesome album, in my opinion. Love the album art. Super cool. You know, I've met someone who didn't like Korn, but would always say, I actually like this album a lot, even though he doesn't like Korn. So for me, I think it's a really strong album from Korn. I love it. All right. Now, coming in at number 6, The Nothing. Okay, 2019 release. You know, it doesn't really look much like a Korn album. Looking at that cover, that's a slipcase there. Again, a more mature, more sophisticated Jonathan Davis and Korn, making one of the best albums of their career. Album number 13 is just amazing. A little more darker on the lyrics theme, more leaning towards the gothic side. Cold is amazing. The End Begins. You'll Never Find Me. The Seduction of Indulgence. Can You Hear Me? The Ringmaster. Surrender. Surrender to Failure, which ends it, is just amazing. And for all those, you know, I don't want to call us old heads, but all of us older people that were huge fans of Korn in the early days, especially with the first 2 albums, go back and check this out because this is a more mature Korn and a different sounding Korn, but in a great way. I think you'll enjoy this. If you've never heard this album, check it out and then leave it in the comments what you think. All right, coming number 5. When this album came out, it was the heaviest I've heard Korn in a while, and I was like, wow, this is a heavy album. And again, if people are going to like disagree with me, but I don't care. The Serenity of Suffering. Love it. 2016 release. Awesome album art there as you see the kid at the carnival. Oh, even on the back there. Look at that album art. It's awesome. Got that horror theme to it, which Korn is great at. Rotting in Vain, such an awesome song. Different World actually features Corey Taylor. So Corey's vocals with Jonathan's vocals is just magic. It's just a heavy album. Like Monkey and Head are just like, they're in their zone on this one. They're just, I don't know what they did, but they, you know, they just turn the distortion up, the amps up, and it's just really heavy riffing all over this album. I absolutely love it. Great album. All right, coming at number 4. A lot of people say this is Korn's best album. You know, definitely put Korn on the map, made Korn a household name. It was all over MTV. It's all over the radio. It's still celebrated to today. It's a classic album. I'm not going to lie. Follow the Leader, released in 1998. This is a nu metal classic. If you want to know what nu metal is, just listen to this album featuring, you know, rappers like Ice Cube on here, the guy from Farside, and then we have Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit on this. I feel like someone else is on this. Maybe not. Yeah, I can't remember. But This actually starts at track 13. So the first 12 tracks are just like, I think a second or two long. And it just kind of skips through. And then it starts with It's On, which is a cool little like intro into that. Straight in the Freak on a Leash, which is probably their biggest song and the song that they're known for. The music video behind it was legendary with the girl here and the cop and the bullet flying through everything. Still to this day, it's ahead of its time, that music video. Just the graphics and all that, just amazing. The other hit single off this, Got the Life. Dead Bodies Everywhere, such a cool bass line, which opens it up super heavy. Children of Corn featuring Ice Cube, like I said, BBK, Pretty. All in the Family, which features Fred Durst. It's kind of that, teenage toilet humor, like I like to say, with the lyrics back and forth. Reclaim My Place is a great song. Then we end with Justin Seed, Cameltosis, and My Gift to You. So yeah, there was like merch release for the 25th anniversary of this, and it's probably Korn's biggest selling album. It's probably, between this, Issues, and the self-titled, one of them's got to be the biggest selling album of Korn's career. And like I said, this put Korn in the stratosphere. I mean, they were beating out like Backstreet Boys, Insane, Christina Aguilera, and Britney Spears on TRL, which was an MTV show for those of you that are younger and not remember. Called Total Request Live, where people could actually call in and vote on the music videos, and they took the #1 spot. So seeing a band like Korn on a show like that was just insane, and Korn was on top of the world. They were like the biggest band at the time. In that late 90s and the 2000s, they were basically like the Beatles of nu metal. That's how big they were. All right, coming number 3. When this album first came out, I wasn't that into it, and I would have put Follow the Leader over it in the years after. But ever since going back and listening to this album, I've appreciated it more and more, and I start to really, really appreciate it and like it. And it's the reason I put it number 3. It's actually Korn's sophomore album, Life is Peachy. I mean, you got that creepy album cover there, the kid looking in the mirror with his larger shadow behind him. It opens up with Twist and the Chai, which is that scat noise that Jonathan Davis made famous. Lost, Swallow, Porno, Creep, Good God, Mr. Rogers, No Place to Hide. We have the cover of Wicked, Ice Cube's Wicked, featuring Chino Moreno from the Deftones, another band at the time that helped usher in the nu metal era. The hit single Adidas, All Day I Dream About Sex, is just a huge song for the band. And for us at a time, because Adidas was like the brand we all wore. Us nu metal kids were like, oh, it's got to be Adidas. And we had another reason besides sports of what I would call it. Adidas. Lowrider is it's a funny cover, but it features Head this time on vocals rather than Jonathan. Acid and Kill You, which ends it. This is definitely a different album than the debut. It's a little, it's funnier in spots, it's darker in spots, but you could tell that the band was definitely going through something, and that would be, drug abuse and drinking and all that. And it shows, like, you can hear it in the lyrics, you can hear it, it kind of like how they're messing around. But overall, it still came out to be a great album. I don't want to call it a sophomore slump. It just wasn't as strong as the debut album. And then the follow-up, which is Follow the Leader, obviously was much stronger commercially than this album. But like I said, as the years have gone on, I've come to appreciate Life is Peachy more than Follow the Leader. Could be because I've heard Follow the Leader so many times, and I don't really need to hear Got the Life or Freaking on a Leash again because I've heard them so many times. Could be the reason why I put this ahead. Coming number 2. Excuse me. When this album came out, I couldn't wait for this album to come out. They were on TRL promoting it. They actually had a contest where a fan could draw the cover, and there was 4 winners, but one, master winner, which became the main album cover art, and then there was 3 more, and I have the main album cover art. This is Issues from 1999. They followed up Follow the Leader literally a year later, so a band that was on top of the world followed up with this album, which is even better than Follow the Leader in my opinion, and just an amazing album. All 16 tracks, flawless to me. I love all 16 tracks, even the short tracks like Wish You Could Be Me, For You, like stuff like that. The little interlude things are really really good. Dead, which opens up, super cool with the it's kind of like a what do I call it? It's kind of like a funny but in a dark way, and we have Jonathan on the bagpipes opening it. The huge hit single "Falling Away From Me," "Make Me Bad" was another big single, along with "Somebody Someone." "Dirty," which ends "It's Amazing." "Let's Get This Party Started." Such a cool verse. The chorus doesn't really go with the verse. It's kind of like kind of sounds like two separate songs, but I love that verse. "Trash" is awesome. Such a good album. And like I was saying, these are the 3 other album covers. But I always stuck with this one because to me it was my favorite one. I mean, this one was super cool too, but this is the one they promoted, and that's the main cover, and I don't know, it just fits it. This the art is amazing, but I kind of thought this was a little odd that they picked that. I mean, I feel like, I'm not saying there was better artwork, there probably was, but I just thought that was odd they picked that one. But like I said, great art. Nothing against the artist. I just think it's odd that that was the one that was chosen. This one was super cool, but it does remind me of the first album with the girl on the swing. You know, they're in the park, and here we have someone obviously kind of like a chalk line made by children of sidewalk chalk. But that's a super cool cover. And this one here was like on t-shirts everywhere. So kudos to the artists. Alfredo Carlos was this one. Vince, I'm going to butcher this, QO did this one. Jamil Phoenix Clark, this one. And Brad Lambert did this one here. So awesome artwork, guys. Hopefully you guys are still making art, and you're successful from it, because super cool. And like your artwork's forever enshrined in a Korn album, which is awesome. And buy physical media. You won't see that on Spotify. All right, coming number 1, obvious choice. The album that kickstarted nu metal, in my opinion. Probably the greatest nu metal album of all time. The debut album from 1994, self-titled Korn. I mean, it just kicks open with the song "Blind," the signature song. Super great song. When that kicks in, you haven't heard anything like that before. This is a new genre, a new band. Nothing like that came before it. And the ball tongue, I mean, just the bass and that harsh drum sound, which opens it up, is just amazing. Need To, Clown, Divine. I won't say the next title because I may get banned and I may offend someone. It's the name of the song though. Shoots and Ladders, literally using nursery rhymes with bagpipes, and makes an amazing song out of it. Like, what other bands could do that? Predictable. I love Jonathan's voice on Predictable. I think he does a great job singing that. Fake, Lies, Helmet in the Bush, and the amazing Daddy, which still remains probably one of Korn's biggest epic songs, detailing the kind of the molestation and rape of Jonathan Davis by his stepmother at the time. Oh, I think it was it was either his stepmother or his dad's girlfriend, dad's wife, which would still be a stepmother. But anyway, you actually hear Jonathan weep at the end of this song. And I forget the DVD, the home video. It was like called Who Then Now or something, I believe, if that's the right one, where they show Jonathan recording it, and Fieldy has tears in his eyes. The other band members are crying over it. It's a super cool video, because you also see like Head doing the vocals for Lowrider, and them just like laughing their ass off at it. But this album is absolutely amazing. And remember, this came out in 1994. Like, this was unheard of at the time. This and like Marilyn Manson came out. It was like Deftones Adrenaline. Like, you're ushering in this brand new sound, this whole new type of metal and rock music. We had the death of Kurt Cobain, and grunge was starting to die off that same year. Just amazing album. You have Pantera releasing Far Beyond Driven. Like, 94 was a huge year in music, especially for metal, because We had the first metal album, or the heaviest metal album ever, with Far Beyond Driven debuting at #1. We have a brand new metal genre, you know, goth genre, and they would call us freaks for, you know, wearing our big baggy pants and our spiked hair and our, you know, ball necklaces, our ball chain necklaces and all that stuff. But yeah, this is coming at #1 for me, Korn, self-titled. The band never did anything better than this, and what a debut to come out to. You know, growing up, this was when Korn was on top of the world. This was the album, though, that everyone spoke about. Like, hey, this Korn, still the best album. You know, Follow the Leader was great, but Korn, it's great. All right, everyone, I want to thank you for sticking with me throughout this video. I hope you enjoyed it. A great band, Korn. They get a bad rap just because, oh, new metal like that. But, like, even if you don't like the music, you got to appreciate Jonathan Davis's lyrics. He's a great lyricist, especially with the dark genres he talks about and the very dark themes that he unfortunately had to deal with throughout his life and made a career out of. And, you know, thankfully he's sober now and, you know, doing much better. And obviously he's a successful rock star, which is something that we've probably all dreamt about sometime in our lifetime. All right, thank you for watching, and I will check you in the next video. Hit that subscribe button. Take care.